Hello and welcome to Dublin City Library Storytime. My name is Mary and I'd like to read for you today The Nighttime Cat and the Plump Grey Mouse, a Trinity College tale written by Erika McGann and illustrated by Lauren O'Neill and published by the O'Brien Press. Let's get started. On a dark, dark night in a very quiet library, there was an old, beautiful book. Looking out from the pages of the book was a plump grey mouse. When the clock struck 12, the little mouse blinked. He stretched his little legs and he hopped right off the page. The mouse was not alone in the old book. 4 furry paws with very sharp claws were creeping across the page. Said Pangerbon the cat. I'm so hungry, but where, oh where, did that plump grey mouse go? Pangerbon walked through a long room with lots of books and talking heads. Mr. Swift, said the cat to one of the talking heads, have you seen a little mouse? He's grey and plump and, oh, so juicy. You silly cat, said the head of Jonathan Swift. You shouldn't eat that poor mouse. Not even baked or boiled or stewed. But Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon went looking for the mouse outside. There in the dark square, with pretty trees and sparkling stars, a ghost sat on a windowsill. Mr. Ford, said Pangerbon, have you seen a little mouse? He's grey and plump and oh so yummy. You silly cat, the ghost replied. Students are not allowed out after dark. Neither are cats or mice. Get back to bed at once, or I shall fetch my pistol. But Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon came to a field where great big giants were chasing a ball. A king and queen were watching. Those little folk, the king said, are no match for the giants. Oh, just you watch, the queen replied. They're faster than you think. Suddenly the ball raced through the grass like a fish caught on a hook. Pangerbon looked a little closer and saw tiny people running underneath. They'd stolen the ball. Ha ha, the queen cried. There they go. Those Lilliputians have it now. Excuse me, your majesty, said Pangerbon, but have you seen a little mouse? He's grey and plump and oh so furry. You silly cat, the queen replied. There's no mouse here. Now go away and bother someone else. Poor Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon found a theatre, where all the actors were standing frozen on the stage. The director saw the cat and shrieked, Places, everyone! Start the show! At once! What are you waiting for? We've got an audience! Mr. Beckett, said Pangerbon, could you help me find a mouse? He's grey and plump and oh so spicy. You silly cat, said the ghost of Samuel Beckett. We're putting this show on just for you. You'll have to stay and watch it now. But Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon climbed up to a rooftop where she could see the city all around. There she met some more ghosts. We're supposed to be up there with the stars, one ghost said when she saw the cat, but we got stuck below. Would you like to be a star? You can have my parachute. Oh no, said the cat, I'm looking for a mouse. He's grey and plump and oh so pudgy. Have you seen him? You silly cat, the ghost replied. A mouse would run along the ground. We're far too busy looking up. Why don't you join us in the sky? But Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon walked through a secret door and found a cellar. 2 ghosts were having a duel, but they were using books instead of swords. My stories are scarier than yours, Sheridan Le Fanu said. They'd make a monster shriek. Ha, said Bram Stoker, your stories wouldn't even scare my granny. My books are so frightening, they'd make a werewolf cry. Then meet my Carmilla, Lefanu shook his book and out popped his scary vampire. Say hello to Count Dracula. Stoker flipped his book and out came his scary vampire. Be scary, cried Lefanu. Be scary, Stoker yelled. Maybe later, said Count Dracula. I'm off to find something warm to drink. Maybe later, said Carmela. I want to find a friend. Carmela petted Pangerbon's head. Won't you stay and play with me? Oh no, the cat replied. I'm looking for a little mouse. He's grey and plump and oh so squidgy. You silly cat, Carmilla said. Just take my hand and we'll be friends forever and ever and ever and ever. The cat looked at Carmilla's big, big smile and sharp, sharp teeth and thought that was a very bad idea. Besides, Pangerbon was still hungry, and so she walked on alone. In a tall, tall library, the cat came across another ghost who was opening book after book after book after book. But he never sat down to read. Mr. Marsh, said Pangerbon, could you help me find a mouse? He's grey and plump and oh so meaty. You silly cat, the ghost replied. Can't you see I'm busy? I'm looking for a letter. It's a goodbye note from my niece and it's hidden in a book somewhere. You must stay and help me find it. But Pangerbon was still hungry and so she walked on alone. Pangerbon found a swimming pool that bubbled and spat and boiled. A very strong-looking ghost appeared in the middle of the water. Have you come to do some exercise? She asked. Then catch this and start lifting. The ghost pulled a dumbbell from her pocket and threw it at the cat. It missed by just an inch. No thanks, said Pangerbon. I'm looking for a mouse. He's grey and plump and oh so tasty. You silly cat, the ghost replied. Chasing mice is not a sport. Now climbing, that's the thing. Last one to the climbing wall's a rotten egg. But Pangerbon didn't want to climb. She was getting tired, but she still walked on alone. Pangerbon walked beneath the bell tower just as the bell began to ring. You down there, a voice called out. You silly cat, don't you know that that's bad luck, to walk beneath the striking bell? Oh, Mr. Wild, said Pangerbon, have you seen a little mouse? Is he grey and plump and oh so juicy, said the ghost of Oscar Wilde. Yes, said the cat, and yummy and furry and oh so spicy. Yes, said the cat, and pudgy and squidgy and oh so meaty. Yes, said the cat. Is he grey and plump and oh so tasty? Yes, yes, said the cat. Have you seen him? No, I have not, said the ghost of Oscar Wilde. Now off you go, you silly cat. I've things to write, some funny plays and clever poems. Poor Pangerbon walked on alone. Pangerbon, there you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. The cat knew the friendly figure in the dark, dark night. He was the monk who had made the old, old, beautiful book. I've been searching for a plump grey mouse, said Pangerbon, but I can't find him anywhere. The friendly monk smiled. Come with me, he said. I think I know where that plump grey mouse will be. Back in the library with the old, old, beautiful book, the plump grey mouse sat cleaning his ears. There he is, cried Pangerbon. The plump grey mouse saw the cat and gave her a very cheeky grin. Then he turned and jumped right into the page. Pangerbon smiled and jumped right in behind him. And every dark, dark night in that very quiet library, inside that old, old, beautiful book, that plump grey mouse is still running, and Pangerbon is still chasing him. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.